Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to peace out. I hope your weekend was much more calm than mine. I had a kind of crazy weekend, but I hope you had a good weekend and I hope you're ready to go Monday morning. We've got a new day to learn to trust God more, a new day to experience His peace even more, to learn more about His grace, learn more about His mercies. And I'm just a little bit wound tight because I just had the best Bible study. Oh, it was so good. I'm going to try to not explode here. I'm going to keep it a piece at a time this week. Okay. But the first thing is you can't surprise God. You can't, nothing in your life is going to surprise God. He doesn't look down and go, oh no, what am I going to do with this? This is where I started was my thinking was he never says that didn't turn out like I thought. He never says that. God never says that did not turn out like I thought it would, because it always turned out like he knew it would, right? But that's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. So, like we read the Bible stories and it's not like God's sitting up in heaven going, a Red Sea. Where'd the Red Sea come from? Is that in the story? Did I put that in there? What did I do with the Red Sea? No, he doesn't say, oh, there's a storm. I told the disciples to go across. There's going to be a storm. Oh, I should have waited till the next day. No, he knew there was going to be a storm. He knew there was going to be a Red Sea. He never said, a giant? Who put a giant in this story with David? Who put a giant there? No, he was more like waiting there on the field for David to come face that giant that day, going, this is going to be epic. This is going to be awesome. The entire world is going to talk about this all the way into 2025 and beyond, infinity and beyond. They're going to be talking about the story of David and Goliath. I thought about the story of David and Goliath while I was thinking about it, right? And I was like, you know what? It didn't matter about the stone. David was a little guy. Goliath was a big guy. David picked up 5 stones on his way out to defeat Goliath. And he had no doubt, because he told Goliath, today God, he knew it wasn't his own strength. Today God is going to deliver you into my hand and I will cut your head off. I'm going to feed you you ain't going to feed me to the birds. Come on, birds. It's going to be a feast in a little bit, right? He picked 5 stones. I assume, this is just something I heard and this is the one I want to stick with. Goliath had 4 brothers. Maybe he had those other stones because he was like, his brothers is probably going to come after me. So I need to be armed for the other 4. So he was ready to take on the whole family of giants if he needed to, right? But he goes out there. God's already waiting there. See, I think we've read the stories, or maybe it's just me. I've read the stories and God shows up in the story. But this morning, as I was thinking about some of these things and how God never says, well, that didn't turn out like I thought. Maybe he's already in the story. Maybe he's waiting for the story to unfold in time, but he's already waiting in our stories to be there when the stuff happens. Y'all, this blew my mind this morning. I'm trying to hold it together because I'm so excited that I see God already in that field, waiting for David, going, this is going to be amazing, right? David's going to take this giant down with one little stone. I don't care how big that stone was. There's no way to have placed it at the right spot to kill that giant without the power of God. It's not possible. It's the physics behind it is not possible, right? There's no possible way for David, a young little guy here, to have the strength, no matter how strong he was, to sling a stone hard enough to kill it. No matter where it hit in his head, it's not. Without the power of God, that stone was powerless, even no matter what David did. But God was there. He was already there waiting for David. He was in that field. He was already anxious in a good type of way, anticipating the storm when he told the disciples, go across because I'm going to be in that storm when you get there. Go out of Egypt and to the promised land because I'm going to be at the Red Sea waiting for you to get there going, come on, this is going to be awesome. Watch this. He was already there. He doesn't send us into stuff and then go, oh, wait, let me go down and, oh, what did I do? Did I send it? Oh, let me go fix it. No, it's like he's waiting and he can't wait till we get there. As a matter of fact, even the story of Jonah, it said that God had prepared beforehand, got it ready, prepared a fish for Jonah. He wasn't disappointed in Jonah. He already knew the storyline. There was no way he could be disappointed because he had already written the books of our lives. So he's not disappointed. He's just meeting us in those places where he knows we're going to need him just a little bit more. And so I was like, he was already on the field waiting for David. He was already had a fish ready for the wayward prophet Jonah. He was already at the Red Sea. Had already made a way through the sea. He was already in the storm. He knew he was going to walk out to the disciples in the storm. He was waiting for it to happen so he could be there. He was already there. So that made me think about Psalm 139. Excuse me. In Psalm 139, he talks about, he already knows. He knows all of my days. He already has them all written out. And I sometimes, if I'm just totally honest, I try not to go long here. If I'm totally honest, sometimes that upsets me. Because I'm like, well, I don't like what you wrote. I don't like you writing in a wreck with Chris. It's not like, but what God, this morning I was more like, God was waiting for me to get to that moment where he was going to find out, how I was going to find out that I was really trusting him. He was waiting for that moment. And he's not disappointed when my faith fails or when I get filled with doubt. I'm on a doubt fast still, right? But when I have those moments, he's already there waiting for me in them to meet me there. Now listen to this. So I go to Psalm 139. He's already written out the ways. There's not a word that I speak that you didn't already know. There's not an action I take that you didn't already know. Sometimes I'm sure he just goes, I knew she was going to do that. Stop, right? He knows all that. But listen to this. In verse 5, it says this, you have hedged me behind and before. That means fortified. You got the way ready for me before I got there, and you closed it in behind me as I passed through it, trusting in your grace. You fortify my path in front of me and behind me. I am totally surrounded by God, no matter what my circumstances are shouting at me, right? But listen to this next part. And you laid your hand on me. And I'm like, I like that phrase. But let me look that up in the Greek or in the Hebrew a little bit. So I look it up in the Hebrew, and it actually means the palm of the hand, to lay the palm of the hand, or to the palm of even a palm tree, the bottom part of it, to cup it kind of over. But listen to this next part. It says he brings his hand down. He brings his hand down to cover me. That little thing just blessed me, to think that God, nothing surprises God. He's not disappointed at my reaction, because he knew that was the reaction I was going to have, right? He was ready for it, and he's ready to carry me on to the next phase after I work it out, right? We'll talk about that tomorrow. Anyway, but he's waiting in the field with the giant for David, because he's already there. He's already prepared the way, and he's brought his hand of power down to waiting for David, going, come on, let's take out this giant. This is going to be awesome. Come on, Moses, let's get you to the Red Sea, because they're going to make movies about this. They're going to make movies about this. You don't even know what a movie is, Moses. David, you don't know what a movie is. You don't know what video is. You don't even know what a recording is. But this is going to be a story told through the ages. And it's all about God was already there when they got there. So no matter what you face today, no matter what gets put on your plate, no matter what gets taken off of your plate that you wanted left there, right? No matter what, God's already brought his hand down to that situation, and he's going to carry you through it. It's been his plan all along. Doesn't that bless you? I'm just so excited about some of the things. I can't wait to get done here so I can go right. It's so exciting, some of the things that just began to unfold this morning. God is so faithful, and he's already in our circumstances. We can't help but win, because God's already here to guide that rock, to kill that giant, to part that Red Sea, to calm the storm when we're in a stormy boat, to catch us when we run away like Jonah. God's already done it. He's already brought his hand down, and he can't wait for us to see what he's going to do today. And that's why I can peace out. Peace out, you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you again tomorrow.